Hello and welcome back to my channel, Emily's Creative Life. Today is day 3 of my 2020 Valentine card series. In this video, I'll be showing you how I made a heart-shaped shaker card. So I'll be starting out with this Firefly nested hearts die set and this Lifestyle Crafts nesting scallop hearts die set. And I will be using some cougar 110 pound cardstock, some white glitter cardstock, well, 2 pieces of the cougar cardstock and then 1 of the white glitter cardstock. Here I'm using my EK Tools scoring board and a Teflon bone folder to score this piece of cougar cardstock at 4 1/4 to make a folded note card, and then I will use that scalloped heart die, 1 of them, to die cut to make a folding heart card. And I'll be using some purple tape here to keep that down as I run it through my die cut machine so that it doesn't shift. And as you can see, I have the die hanging off there to create that hinge for it to fold on. I will run that through my Sizzix big kick machine. And then here you can see that hinge. I will use that same die and die cut another piece of paper, or another heart from that same cougar cardstock. And then again from that white glitter cardstock. And I'm using 1 of the dies from that Firefly nested hearts die set to die cut from the center of that glitter heart to create a frame. And then I will be die cutting a sentiment that says "I love you" by Momenta from some purple glitter cardstock. When I finished all of my die cutting, I go ahead and use some distress inks. I'm starting with cracked pistachio, and I will ink blend on that scalloped heart from the cougar cardstock. I will be using that cracked pistachio at the top. When I have finished with the cracked pistachio, I use the peacock feathers in the middle, and I will finish that off with the seedless preserves at the bottom of the heart. These are not very traditional Valentine colors, but they've been a combination I've been using lately in my card making, and it's been one of my favorites. So I'll probably keep using it until I get tired of it. Here you can see that after it's all ink blended. So I'll go ahead and clean off my glass mat, and then I will use some 1/4 inch score tape to adhere that ink blended heart onto the card base. Just trying to line up the scallops and make sure that it's nice and straight on there. When I have finished with that, I go ahead and use that same 1/4 inch score tape and place that on the back of that scalloped heart frame. And after I remove the release paper from that, I will add a piece of thick acetate onto the back of that for the shaker window. And I'm using some double-sided foam tape from the Papery shop, and I am folding that over to make it thicker. I want the sequins to be able to move freely in this shaker card. And this is, I think, an 1/8 inch thick, so that makes it about a 1/4 inch thick for the depth of the window. I took off the release paper from both sides so that I can kind of bend it around that shape of the heart and get it as close to the edge of that as possible. So here I'm finding some sequins to go ahead and put on that ink blended panel. I found, I think, some, or from a few different sequin mixes I put little pinches from. So it's a mix of a lot of different ones in there. Then I'll go ahead and adhere that frame down over top of that ink blended panel, making sure that I line all those scallops up properly so that there's nothing offset, and you can see those move very freely in there. You can see there's a little bit of that ink blended panel showing through on the underside of that, and I love how that looks. Here I am adding some Distress Collage Medium in the matte finish to the back of this I Love You die cut, and then I adhere that over top of the acetate and glitter cardstock, spanning the top of that heart. So this was such a fun card to create. I love shaped cards, and when you can combine it with a shaker, there's nothing better as far as cards go. It was so much fun. So I just trimmed off that little bit of excess right there from the sides, and here is the finished card. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time for day 4.